just don't accept the way things are done as the way that it has to be done. So just because they stop selling books, it doesn't mean that they can't sell your book. You don't pitch them as help me sell my book. You don't pitch them as we're not even selling a book. The book becomes an excuse to bring people into the store who then will buy the products.
Gonna have to push myself out there and be seen.
Really in the house, really. She's part of Movement Makers, joined us for a year, and as part of that, we do IG Live together as well. So, Charlene, welcome aboard.
Oh, thank you so much. It's my pleasure to meet everybody. To meet you, I'm honored, and to meet everyone. I am normally at work, so I'm so happy to get this opportunity to speak with you.
I love it. So, what do you got? How can I help?
Yes, well, I am an author, like I'd emailed prior, and probably your associates have said to you, and I've been practicing natural and holistic health for over 23 years, and everybody calls me guru. I'm the assistant vitamin manager at Sprouts. Everybody's like, you should be on TV, you should be on YouTube. It's just crazy. Like, I'm telling them, like, I'm almost like Pastor Joel Osteen, kind of behind the scenes person until maybe God just pushed me in front. But for now, I was just telling them that I would think God put it on my heart to reach over millions of people to help them with their health naturally. And that's why I wrote the first book on basically a pocket guide of eating for your health. And then I'm a third of the way of my second book of mental health and wellness. So the first one was say yes to take care of your to say yes to pure good food. And then the second one is say yes to taking care of your mental health and wellness. I'm all about wellness. It was just a gift from God, 23 years plus, and I have to help the people. So I'm like Oprah did with Dr. Phil and everybody else, and Dr. Oz and Iyanla, to get on their platform. Always been following Evan for years. Let me just reach out and join his thing and support whatever he's doing. And he loves to help people. So, I just reached out and just said, just leap of faith. And we could, see if we could partner together, whatever he wants. I was like, whatever he wants, but I'm just here to help the people.
And you're also saying yes a lot.
Yes, my say yes is yes. I had to do that positive affirmation. I watch you a lot and have been watching everybody. You talk about everybody in the business, from Oprah to everybody that you follow. I've been following, and Iyanla Vanzant, everybody. You did Lisa Nichols, everybody that's been inspirational. Those are the people I've been following for many, many years, even before I found you. So it's just my path of being just that way, just to help people. And I'm like, this gift, God, of natural health. The stats are so bad in the country, 1/3 obese, 2/3 over their weight. And I see people all day long from a rash to stage 4 cancer. So it's just crazy.
So where are you stuck, or what do you need help with?
Meaning to get the word out there in terms of the book, so people could use it to better their health naturally. I only use natural remedies to take care of my health for over 25 years. So that part, that's my gift of just natural health, not following that way, because I'm the assistant vitamin manager at Sprouts, and I see people come in there, 50, 30 prescription ailments all over the body going on. And in the community that I do live is a quote unquote affluent South Tampa area. And I see, and I tell them all the time, regardless of the money, it's just health is wealth. Regardless. So they're like, here's my guru. I'm going to always come in here for you. And they're just so honored to meet me and to, like, I'm the local little person that they always say, she's the go-to, and they send people to me. So I'm like, and I was just led to just join the thing, although I did not know the timeline of when you did your thing. I work at Sprouts full time as the assistant vitamin manager. I did not know the timeline, but it led on my heart to just join your movement. And I said, let me just do it, even if I just contribute the $500, because I never get a chance. I'm at work. And I just said, let me just do it. And then I said, I would love to partner with you, anyone who loves to help people and to help other people.
Do you have
for us to use our platform to help people?
Yeah, well, first off, listen, all the trainings are saved as well. So you can always, even if you're not watching live, you can go back and watch them, watch all the replays.
Yeah, I've been trying to catch up.
So there's there. But
yeah.
What's the promotion strategy right now for the book?
I have that's the point. It's just been locally on. It's been on Amazon. It's self-published on Amazon. It's just been there, and locally, I was selling the book locally, and I've sold hundreds. I really have locally just by myself. I work full time in school, full time, and I'm a natural holistic health coach outside of this and consultant outside of this. So I'm trying each. So I sell there when I meet one-on-one with clients outside of this because. I tell you, these people have no idea in terms of eating for their health. I didn't realize how bad it was until I started consulting with people one-on-one. So
do you want?
That's my strategy. Online, anywhere and about anywhere. And my one-on-one so far, I've sold good amount, several hundreds. Locally, no promotion yet.
Do you want to?
In terms of social media.
Are you trying to sell the coaching consulting service as well?
No, I'm just, well, you're the expert in this with social media. I have no idea, as you suggest.
Well,
I don't know.
Okay, so social media becomes your marketing path, but it's more like what's on your heart. What do you want to do? Do you want to just be the writer? Do you want to be the writer plus the coach? Do you want to be speaking? Like, do you want to be
writer plus coach? I take that. Writer plus coach, because I've been coaching before I start charging, and I basically charge like $89. I tell you right there. $89 an hour, and they're glad and just so happy and elated after the one-on-one meeting. So I was like, goodness, I didn't realize the market for it. They're like, we need more of you. I was like, I wish I could multiply. I've been hearing that for years.
Do you have a list of people who bought your first book?
Some is in my phone. Some.
Okay.
Some of them.
The best content that you can put on social and Instagram and YouTube will be the one that you actually enjoy the most, which will be helping people. So,
yeah,
the easiest way to
I was saying that it was never my dream to be on YouTube and have a YouTube channel personally. I thought I would go the route of partnering with other people who have a platform and do it that way. It was just never my dream of being on there myself. Literally doing that one-on-one. I know everybody say I should be, but it's not my dream of making videos like I see you do. It's rest on my heart for years to just partner with people who have a platform and do it that way. Like, yeah, that's the way I laid on my heart. And to be honest with you, I have to say, so never the one to like go and make videos and vlogs and all that.
Well, you don't have to do vlogs. That's a specific style of video. And you don't have to do this either. The more that you have your own platform, the less you're at the mercy of other people as well. So it's not that you can't.
Sure.
It's not that you can't go and partner with other people as well. I love that. One of the reasons why Kevin Hart started to blow up and could command so much money from the movie studios was because he built his platform. And he can say, hey, if I'm in this movie, I'm bringing people along to watch as well. Not just being a talent actor.
Yeah,
it's smart, but it doesn't mean it means lots of smart things you could do. It doesn't have to be the thing that you do. The trick would be like, how do you make it actually fun, right? Most of the time, like making a video might be boring, might be like you just sit in front of a camera. You may not like doing that, but if you made coaching videos, then that could be a fun path to go down where you're actually helping people. That's why I thought, like, if you have a list of some of the people who bought your books, the first book.
Yeah, I do, but I don't know if they're because it's a one-on-one about their health, their privacy in terms of that, if they would want to do that. Just a thought in terms of their private information and private stuff that we talk about is just private in their coaching of their health one-on-one. So I don't see how that part. I don't really know how I would make a video with them with that part.
So some people won't, and some people would have no problem with it. Like if people will go on Jerry Springer and talk about the things that they talk about.
No, you're too funny with that. No, Jesus, I can't even remember. I don't. Yes, I don't watch those things, but I've glimpsed everybody in the world. I've seen the riot and Yeah, that's a lot. I'm a Christian-driven person, but I don't watch news. But I've seen Jerry Springer once or twice, and it's a mess.
Yeah. So, I mean, if they'll go on and share their story there, some people will come on and share their story with you. And not everybody.
If you saw the clientele that I have, you would probably think that they mostly wouldn't, based on how their demeanor and how they are. They wouldn't be that kind of type of crowd like Jerry Springer. They're very,
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, and just the point is, there are some people who will share, and there are some people who won't share. You don't need everybody. You just need a few people who will come on and share. And the way to do it, especially if you like the idea of being a coach, then
I do.
If it's like making a video, like, what's this? We're doing it. This is coaching. It's just flipped. So.
Oh my God.
Right?
Don't put me on the spotlight. I know. I'm listening to you. That's why I'm not saying anything. I'm listening.
So then it would just be flipped, where you're then helping people with their, whether it's the mindset stuff or the nutrition stuff, either one.
Nutrition, natural health. Mm-hmm.
But the second book is more about mindset, right?
Yes, the second book is mental health and wellness, because every one of them, when you do read it, you'll see I want a way, I don't know, to get you a copy just to have a gist of what I do, because everybody, I've been so thankful about. I've just heard 100%, I'm not even 99, 100% positive review about this book. They're like, this book needs to get out there. I was like, I'm trying. They're like, yes, you need to get out there, talk to people who have a platform. I said, I've already thought that's one of my main thing that has been resting on my heart to do. So I'm trying. So I said, you know what, who better than you, who have always loved to help people and just have a good, just a good aura about you. And that's why I signed. Even though I've never been on any of the training, I was like, okay, I'm never going to ask for this money, but I've joined all of his things and just like what he's doing in the world. And I'm sure everybody's like, the thing that everybody keep coming back with after the coaching or they bought the book, you just got a gift. You just got that gift of health. Health is wealth, and you got that naturally. We need more people doing it. That the stats are too bad here in America. Anybody you partner, you will be all right, because we need more of that. Especially, it's a pocket guide. My favorite book is 91 page, and that's where I got the idea to make it sure it's under 100 pages. So it is under 100 pages, and I have gazillion books. Some of them probably similar to yours, because I follow any thought leader always, years on end. It's just been my path, and I'm like, this lay on my heart to write this book, and I finally, God made my former store manager was an author of 15 books. Who knows how God lined up things and got this first one published, and now we're friends for life. And then he knows I'm writing my second one. He has 15 books on Amazon. So just how God has weaved it. And then here I am with you. I mean, like I said, he just like, go ahead and join Evan's thing. I just listen. And I didn't know your schedule, know how I was going to do anything. I just signed.
What about Sprout?
Yeah, Sprouts, this was going to be my big thing. Sprouts used to sell books. So I said, okay, I was going to get my book into all the Sprouts. Couple months before my book was published, Sprouts stopped selling books at all. They got rid of books. So that was going to be my major idea, to speak with higher up, ask my store manager, because we're very close, and he's just like, yes. He's just a big supporter too of what I'm doing, my natural health mission to help people. And he's like, yeah. So he would have helped me, but it's unfortunately they totally took all books out of all Sprout stores. The memo came down that they're going to get rid of all the books. So that was just what it is. I said another opportunity will open up.
Do you work at a specific store, or you work for the whole company?
Oh, yeah, specific store in South Tampa here. I work near home.
Okay.
In South Tampa as the assistant vitamin manager.
So here's the thing with any of these things, like, you can't don't accept the way things are done as the way that it has to be done. So just because they stop selling books, it doesn't mean that they can't sell your book. One of the things that I did when I was getting started as a speaker is I went to I'm in Canada, so the Canadian version of Barnes and Noble's, like the biggest bookstore in the country, biggest bookstore chain. And I said, I want to come in and speak at your location. And they said, but you don't have a book. It's like, no, I don't have a book to sell, but I'll help sell your books. I'll bring people into the store. And so they thought it was a little crazy, but whatever, they gave it a shot. And
Yeah.
I spoke there either every week or every 2 weeks for like a year. And we had the second largest number of people come out to the bookstore, apart from Sting. Sting was number one, and the musician Sting was number one, and we were number two. And
wow,
because people kept coming back. And so sure, they don't sell books anymore. Cool. One, if you're already at a specific store, you have relationships and you have some leeway, and you could probably make it work as a launch just at that one store. But
but I gotta tell you something here real quick so you have an insight. It's a total different dynamic real quick in one sentence. The management has changed, and it's a total like turnover of employees and not happy, and it's crazy. It's different. I'm on the verge of trying to even decide how long I'm going to stay and all of that. So it's a little bit different from when the former manager was there.
Sure.
So different totally. So yeah.
I mean, all of that creates opportunity. It's like take the lemon and you make lemonade, and then you sell the rest of it.
Yeah.
You know, like all of it. So
yep. I believe
the goal. You don't pitch them as help me sell my book. You don't pitch them as we're not even selling a book. The book becomes an excuse to bring people into the store who then will buy the products.
I told them that. That's what I was using until she stopped. The new manager, her voice dropped, and she said, yes, they're not, put it this way, they're not for many people. They're not persons like yourself to help and all of that. It's more of sabotage and jealousy. It's been going on throughout the store. It's crazy. Just different managers can bring different things. It's crazy because I'm in a management class. I have a year of doing a management degree just for my bucket list, not any particular reason. I found my passion 23 years plus ago. But I'm just saying, management 101 of taking care of your people, that's not what they've been feeling in the store lately. So not for, if it was the other manager, sure, I would have done that.
Sure, but again, it's just a different pitch, right? It creates opportunity. It's not a problem, it's an opportunity. So the pitch isn't support the team. It doesn't even matter about you. The pitch is let's grow the business. And if
that's what I told her. And it was. And she want me to still bring all my customers. I had a store locally for 4 years and I had one online, and they'd all converted to Sprouts. And she knows I'm our money maker, making the money. But guess what? That at the same time, my direct manager and her, they want to no thriving. They're not people persons. They don't want to see you succeed. So it's not even a thing. They're trying to use you, take your people and the money, but not to promote anything. If I put it bluntly, they want to just do that and shut it down. Like, Evan, I'm shutting down your book, but I still want to use you and your people and all of that. Not like a good partnership to say, okay, like I am here, like whatever partnership you want with me, I'm fine enough with, fair enough with whatever. I'm a giver, whatever. Like, that's what I mean. No open like that. I believe in two-way street. No, it's not that kind of dialogue. It's I'll use Evan and his people, but nope, Evan, nope for your book and nope for this. But I'm just sorry.
Cool. Yeah. Well, awesome. Then you find another store.
Yeah.
Like the model works. So if you're saying, hey, I don't want to do content, I don't want to do coaching, I don't want to make videos. Cool. That's one way to win. Partnerships on your heart, is what you said.
It is.
Cool. So
it is.
So this is part of partnerships, right? Some people will take advantage of you. Some people won't listen to you.
Yes.
There's a lot of rejection. Cool. You just got to navigate it and deal with it. The model works.
I will.
Right? Like the model works.
I will.
So if it's not this Sprout location, maybe it's a different Sprout location. Maybe it's a different health. Like how many health food locations are there? Or even wellness locations, yoga studios, dance studios, like anything that deals with health or wellness for the two books, that they could have somebody come in like you, giving a speech. Like it may be something they've never done before,
True.
but it brings value
True.
to their community, to their customers.
True.
So
I'm an introvert like you.
well, I mean,
I'm everything
I did it.
but you're doing it, so I'm following you. I am.
Like my first speaking gig was at the YMCA, and
Okay.
they didn't bring in speakers. It wasn't a thing that they did. But I said, hey, I'd love to help your entrepreneur group and share my story. He said, okay. And I came in and presented there. And then I came back to the YMCA, and then I went to a local bank, and then evolved into the bookstore. And all along the way, it's like stuff they've never seen this before. They've never done this before. But
Okay.
it's the willingness, like you make a list of 200 stores and 20 of them will say yes. And the other 180, maybe they're bad people, maybe they're just stressed out, maybe they just aren't closed-minded, maybe they don't support management. Cool. I mean, we love you. I mean, let me show you that it works. And then as it works, then you can, like, if you can make it work with one Sprouts location, forget about the one that you're in. Cool. Make it work. Bring people into the store. They start buying other products. Then now you're going on a Sprouts tour. You're hitting up America, going to every Sprouts location, right? And if it's not Sprouts, then it's a yoga franchise, or it's a
Yeah. I was thinking that. I was waiting for you to say that because I don't. Yeah, I would. Yeah,
like,
probably try other places.
Don't get
like
caught up on it
mentioning.
having to be Sprouts. It doesn't have to be Sprouts.
Yeah.
But there's lots of companies that are like Sprouts, so sell health products or services, right? Dance studios, etc., where they would find it cool to have somebody come in. They're looking for creative ways to market their business. They're dealing with people not showing up. They're dealing with inflation. Like they're looking at anything. They're looking to get their name out, right? Like, can we bring some media to the event? Can you like once anybody says yes, then you kick up a firestorm. You start emailing all the local media and saying, hey, we're doing this act of kindness in our community here. I'm an author, I wrote this book, I'm volunteering to go speak at this yoga studio to spread awareness around mental health and physical activity. And out of the 40 reporters you email, 4 will pick it up and say, oh, that's actually pretty cool. It's momentum. Okay, so it's what Kevin Hart did, right? When he did his tour, back to Kevin Hart, like he was touring as a comedian before anybody knew who he was or cared about him. And everywhere he went, he just he got their email addresses and built his list. And then the next time he came back, there were double the people there. And the next time he came back, there was like 4x the number of people there. And if you want to do partnerships as your main strategy, that becomes the path. You know, like, hey, I'll come in, okay. I'll present, I'll do Q&A. I've got a book to sell too. People want to buy it. But the main focus at the beginning is not sell the book. The main point is to help customers who are
helping people.
Yeah,
totally. Helping people with their health is my main thing. Totally, I totally agree. My main thing is forget about that. Once I help people with their health, they're always inclined to buy. I realize the book or whatever else that comes. It's just get that to help people. But I know I didn't want to be in front. But based on all your strategy, I'm gonna have to push myself out there and be seen, even though I would rather be like you at first and just kind of not be seen. But I get it. If you go in
and give a great talk at the yoga studio, then maybe they sell your book. You know, like you're building relationships.
Yes. Yeah, building relationships. I gotta be seen. So I gotta put it in my head. I gotta do it. I just gotta go out there and totally put myself out there to these places, even though I didn't want it to be behind the scenes somehow. But I hear you and I respect you. So I will be trying to get braver, or trying to get brave to do it.
Yeah. That's
I'm going to try.
You make if partnerships is the way you want to go, then you make a list of 200 people who have places that you can go and speak at that are related to health and wellness somehow, that you can help their audience, their customers, and
totally help them.
And then the goal becomes you have to refine the model and the system. But as you start doing these events, whatever, 4 people show up, 15 people show up, 20 people show up. Like it's building the model, but then you can take to a national franchise and then go on a North America tour spreading health and wellness to their audience.
Oh my God. You think big and I like it, but Lord, I have to try to process it. Give me a while to process it. I was thinking behind the scenes and just do my little partnerships.
Don't stress.
But I know I am trying to process it.
Sometimes the big thing becomes too big and then it's scary and then we don't do anything. So don't stress. That doesn't have to be the thing, but we can work towards it and we take one baby step at a time, because
yes, totally, I believe in that. Baby steps.
From 10 years ago wouldn't have thought that you'd be writing books, and now here you are with the second one coming out.
I know, totally. I'm like, that part. I was like, look at that. Totally. Yeah, I agree. So I totally agree.
Make a list of 200 stores, local businesses that do health and wellness in your area that you can go in and do some kind of presentation to that will help their audience, and see how it's doing. All
right. So I will take that. I will take that as my thing for you. But please consider me in terms of partnership with me. I've been always wanting to do one with you. So just let me know how you'd want to proceed and go about that. I mean, you never know. It's a win-win for both,
right? Like, as you start doing these things, the model becomes a lot more clear. So then you can go to other people and be able to have something tangible to be able to give them as a model.
Okay. All right. I will take that. I appreciate you and appreciate your time.
For everybody watching, what's the name of the book again? Papa, tell us both of them.
Say Yes to Pure Good Food is the first one, and the second one, of course.
And the one is coming out?
Yes, that's on Amazon. Yes. And the second one is going to be Say Yes to Taking Care of Your Mental Health and Wellness. I'm a third of the way.
And when does that come out?
So my goal is December. But listen, I'm trying to do this with full-time school and work.
Wise? How do you say your last name?
Everybody calls me that from high school, so I'm going to take it, but it's actually Weeze. No, but it's true. Everybody say Wise.
Weise. Go check her out. Charlene, thank you for the love. Thank you for the smile. Thank you for your first Instagram Live. We made it happen.
Yes, I know. Jesus, thank you so much. Thanks, everybody. And thank you so much, Evan. I really appreciate it. I'm honored to meet you.
We'll see you soon. Thank you, Charlene.
See you soon. Bye.
All right, everybody. So Christy Maggio in the house. She's an awesome member of Movement Makers. She's been with us now for over a year. And as part of that, we're doing an interview together. So she's going to interview me. She's had some questions on her mind, and this is it. Take it away, Christy.
So I've just been, there's certain things that I've meant to ask you from about your website, and your story's on your website and since the beginning. So like at the top, you say it's not your fault, right? And so my first question is, like, you throughout school were, struggled. You went through 3 different schools, had challenges. And you said one of the things is, like, it's not your fault. Society, you've been limited. People tell you what to do, what to be realistic. At what point do you think that adults start telling young people that, don't dream big anymore? It's not, be realistic type thing. A couple of the things that you had said on there. And why do you think that is?
Yeah, what a start. And I know you do a lot of work with kids, so this is a great kind of theme into it. Honestly, I think it's even before they say anything. I think if you ask a parent who's got a 6-year-old or a 7-year-old or an 8-year-old, and the kid wants to go and be a whatever, I think when they're really young, the parents we're usually pretty encouraging. Like, yeah, you can go do anything you want. And they have to take it more seriously once they're looking at university and college, like graduating high school, and like what courses you're going to pick. But I think even more than the words that people say is the actions that they're doing. And so if you have a 6-year-old at home and you're teaching her to go and do whatever you want and you could be XYZ, but then you're not living it yourself, I think the actions speak a lot louder than the words. And so a lot of parents, I think, are not off. Just most people are not living the life that they want. Most people are not chasing down. They've got goals, they've got aspirations, they've got dreams, and they're not taking the steps to do it. And so you can say something to your kid, but if you're then not off demonstrating and improving it, I think your kids are much more likely to see how you act as opposed to listen to what you're saying. And so then the challenge becomes, okay, what would, if you won't do it for yourself, for the parents out there, if you won't do it for yourself, do it for your kids, because they're watching you.
So true. Because, obviously, even with adults, we lead by action. We are the example of what young people look up to. And then when they see, especially their parents, what they do you incorporate your son in a lot of what you do in your business?
Only what he wants. I think like the best part about my parents is they always gave us the freedom to do whatever we wanted to go chase down. There was expectations that we would do something, but not expectations to do something specific, right? So like we had to go chase down goals and learn and improve. But all three of us, I have two sisters, went to go do different crazy things. And so with my son, people ask me, do you expect him to be an entrepreneur? It's like, no.
Right.
What does he want to do? Right now he's doing he's turning 13 in a couple weeks, and just looking at the date, turning 13. So I'm gonna have a teenager soon, and he's in his big things are acting and Minecraft. And we had some entrepreneur stuff, like we had him do lemonade stand, and went to my dance studio and he was selling lemonade outside there. And maybe entrepreneurship comes back in some way. For making videos, sometimes he wants to be part of it, sometimes he doesn't. So it's like you basically make it, what are you interested in? Because when you care about something, you're much more likely to learn. And so he loves acting and he loves Minecraft. So on our last school break, I took him to California and we went to Hollywood. And I don't care about Hollywood, but we went to Hollywood to show him the Hollywood Walk of Fame and to take him through. The highlight was the Universal Studios kind of behind the scenes studio tour, because at least right now, that's what he's into. He's 13. Don't have to have him know what he wants to do.
How do you introduce new things to him, right? Because we see a lot of young people who are saying, I don't want to do that because I don't like it. Yet they've never actually tried it, right? So how do you feel that it's a good way to introduce something new, because you wouldn't necessarily know about it or not had their parent not, or an adult not introduced it to them?
I think kids are being exposed to way more new things than what we as parents.
That's true.
Like just from what they watch on YouTube, they're exposed to. I'm asking my son and my nieces and nephews for like new things to do, right? What new videos are you watching? What new music should I listen to? What new things are trending? I'm asking them for what's new, as opposed to me teaching them what's new. I think the key thing is listening, being involved in their lives and the things that they care about, as opposed to the things that we might want them to care about. So instead of forcing my son to go learn piano or trumpet or something, he really cares about Minecraft. He got into it, and so I joined him on Minecraft. I suck at Minecraft. I didn't know, the first time I played Minecraft, I dug myself into a hole and couldn't figure out how to get out. Like, this game is stupid. But I learned and I got better and I improved, and there's a lot of creativity in Minecraft that if I didn't know what it was, it's easy to judge it as just a waste of time or another video game or something. And so because he's interested in it, we spend time, like it's hard, kids don't want to just sit down and talk about their life. I guess at least when you're 13 years old, 12 years old, right? Maybe when they're older, we'll see. But they don't want to just sit down and when you ask them, hey, how was your day? Fine.
Yeah.
What did you do? Nothing. And so how do you have conversations, and how do you lead them, and how do you guide them and mentor them? I think it's through shared activities, shared experiences. So if you want to show bouncing back after failure, if I'm playing Minecraft and I got my full netherite gear, which is hard to get, and then I die and I lose all of it, right? And I'm starting over. then what happens? Do I rage quit? Do I yell at my computer? Do I blame the creeper that blew me up? Right? Or say, okay, that sucks.
Yeah.
Deep breath. We're starting over. Right? And like that is demonstrating the life lessons. I think you could teach life lessons through anything. And if they actually care about that thing, then now I'm demonstrating how to be an adult, I guess, as opposed to having to be through the things that I learned through. So I don't have to teach through entrepreneurship or through books or through piano. Teach it through the things that they actually care about. We're looking at trying to do one of the things that I loved about my mom is every year she took one of the three of us to something that we cared about. And so when she took me, it was to Dunedin, Florida, to go to spring training, Toronto Blue Jays, because you get to meet the players in the parking lot and see them. You know, I love baseball, and she kind of cared about baseball, but it wasn't really her thing. It was my thing. So we're looking at how do we do that for my son, but also for my nieces and nephews. They lost their mom a year and a half ago, and you know, my wife has kind of become the pseudo mom, and so they're a lot more than just nieces and nephews now. And so we're looking at what's one thing that I could take them to every year and just be about them. So my niece just turned 16 and she loves anime. I know nothing about anime, like I zero about anime. But I'm researching like when are the anime conferences and conventions coming up. That there's one coming up in LA, and I'm going to talk to her this weekend, and maybe that becomes a thing that I take her to. And let's go spend 3 days in LA at the anime conference, and I'll get into it. You know, I maybe I'm dressing up, maybe I'm standing in line waiting to do a selfie with like whoever famous person is, and it's not about me. It's about the experience with her. And on that, you know, trying to sit down and talk to her about life is challenging. But when you experience a trip together, and we're spending 3 days, it's just me and her for 3 days doing something she cares about. There'll be lots of opportunities for connection. And understanding and listening and life lessons inside of that.
For sure. For sure.
So yeah, like actually caring and being interested in the things that they're interested in, as opposed to the things that you want to teach them.
I love that. So you like I mentioned before, you had said that you were slow. You know, you found it difficult a little bit. School. You went to 3 different schools. You had trouble making friends from time to time. And you weren't getting the extra attention that you needed. A lot of times, there's a lot of young people today that feel that way. And so a lot of teachers, and I have been one that included, had said, you know, well, you know, they just have difficulty learning. However, we know from you, Jim Quick, many other people, young kids, it was just the way that they were learning that was difficult for them. What do you think is a good way for teachers, education, instruction to happen today that what you think would have made a difference if it was a little bit different when you were in school?
Well, one, I had an undiagnosed hearing problem. And it led me to, like, I would sit under my desk at class during school. Like the teacher would be teaching something, and you know, I don't remember this anymore, but like this is what my parents. I would sit under the desk at school instead of sitting in my chair. I would sit under the desk at school and not pay attention, and they thought I was like ignoring them or a bad student, and really like I just couldn't hear anything. And so instead of sitting there feeling dumb, I tried to do something on my own. I think that is a challenge in that teachers have so many kids in a classroom, and to spend individual time with everybody becomes, you know, challenging. But it's, you know, on the parents too. Then internet didn't exist when that was me. You know, however old now you can. So maybe they have actually something physically wrong or emotionally wrong or something going on at home that it's not actually a learning problem. It's just they're stressed out or they have a physical problem that, you know, needs to be solved. The second would be, and I mean, again, just for that, it's like creating a safe space and taking the time to actually care. Like I tell the story of Madame Farr, who was my teacher, mentor, my last year of high school. And I went from being a B and C student to a straight 90 student after meeting her once a week. I was the same person, you know, it's just like that extra support and belief and having somebody to help me was great. And then second is just understanding how you learn. So auditory is the worst way for me. I like to learn by seeing something, and I like to learn with having somebody kind of guide me. And so my whole history of feeling like a dummy and stupid and can't learn was really, I just can't learn that way. I need to have a guide. And when I have a guide and I can actually see it,
right,
I'm actually a great learner. But I didn't understand that until I was like in my 20s. So, you know, that's if we can learn that earlier, I think it'd be a great gift that we can give.
I agree with you in that sense. I think that that's one of the biggest issues today with education. And, you know, yes, there's a lot of different kids in the class, but, you know, it's still, the system itself is still that one track system that only works for 1/3 of kids. And so, yeah, it's interesting to hear that, because it's really just an alteration of how the material is presented or how you learn that would have made such a big difference. Now, going to piggyback on you were assigned Madame Farr, Miss Farr, Madame Farr, and she was your mentor in grade 12, right? And she made you believe in yourself. You were just like, oh my gosh, like, you said you had got straight A's and it made all the difference. Why do you think, like, what do you think would have happened had you been assigned a mentor in grade 9?
Yeah, it would have made all the difference in the world. And I think when I moved between Madame Farr and Mrs. Farr, because I called her Madame Farr, but most people don't understand what
was
that
she
means.
A French teacher?
We try to say Mrs. Farr sometimes, but yeah, she was my French teacher. And I went to a French immersion school. That was the second school that I went to before transferring to my final school for high school. And I was just way ahead in French because I went to French immersion, and now I went to regular school and French was easy. So I was in class with people who were like 3 years my age and roasting them on all the tests and exams, and it was super easy. Not because I was smart, but just because I was in such an intensive program that this was easy stuff that they were learning. So I built a little bit of a bond with her because she was my teacher there, and I think she felt bad for me being kind of picked on because I'm with people who are 2-3 years older than me, and I'm destroying them, but I'm the only one in the class who's that young and had no friends. And so she took a liking to me, I guess. And I'm grateful that my school had that program. They paired the graduating students with a teacher, and the idea was that you would meet once a week. It was a teacher mentorship program. Almost.
Yeah, you said that, like, that's crazy.
I mean, I think it's a combination of like the students maybe didn't want to meet the teachers, and the teachers weren't pushing it because they probably had a million other things to do, coaching classes, clubs and marketing and all that. Maybe I was too, it's like, okay, this is what we do. I didn't ask enough questions or judge it. It's like, okay, well, I guess I'm meeting her, and I got assigned her, which is great because maybe she picked me. I don't even know. It's probably, actually, if I think back of like students picking kids, she would probably have picked me. It's not some random assignment, but yeah. And I mean, I had already finished all the highest level French classes by that point. I wasn't even taking French anymore because I already finished grade 12 French, like in grade 10. So she wasn't helping me with school. She wasn't helping me with the content of the material. Meeting her every week. I meet her once a week in the morning before class started, and she would just ask me about how things was going. And it just felt great. And I had my parents who always injected me with belief too, but for whatever reason, like being in the environment, having a teacher who kind of knew what I was going through really helped. So if I had that at grade 9, yeah, I mean, what a difference it would have made. I don't know how we, obviously the more customized you can make it and the more belief you can inject in the students, the better results are going to get. I don't have the answer for how do you do that at scale.
Well, it's interesting because like statistics show that 75% of students who are mentored actually go on to graduate college or university. Don't exactly quote me on that right now, because I don't remember when I was researching this last summer. And like there's so much importance on mentoring and mentoring programs, yet there are not a lot in most schools, or they wait until they make it optional, or they wait until it's high school or 12th grade. Let's in the mentoring part of that. So I feel that mentoring is such an important part of helping young people and youth today, but there's very limited to that that exists right now. So if you could, as you were not making friends, if there's a young person today who's doing the same thing with you right now, like feeling the same, doesn't have a lot of friends, or feeling left out or struggling in school, what do you say to them? It's almost like let's be like talking to your younger self, right? So what would you say to them?
What I would say to them would be more just listening. Like, I think just be an ear, more than anything else, more than like they need a friend. So just be their friend. Ask them, hey, what do you want to do today? Play Minecraft? Cool. I wouldn't judge them and say, go do this. Like, let's go play Minecraft together. Let's go to the anime conference together, or whatever. Let's do something to just listen and be with them. Is going to go a lot further than telling them, well, you should do X. What I would be looking for then is that how can they find community through the thing that they love? So how do they, if it's a Minecraft club, if it's a volleyball club, we're looking to get in some of our, it's a great example. My nephew wants to join volleyball. He was on YouTube watching volleyball tournaments and stuff. He's now obsessed with the volleyball. Like, how did that happen? I didn't tell him volleyball. Nobody told him volleyball. He just found the video on volleyball. So now we're looking at how do we get him into a volleyball program? Like, what's the closest volleyball thing? When does the season start? How do we get him in? How do we practice? Am I going to now be
serving?
Playing? I mean, yeah, exactly. Like I used to play volleyball just in like gym class, but I'm not a volleyball expert. But all of a sudden now we're, maybe we get into volleyball, and maybe in 3 months he doesn't care about it anymore, and now he cares about badminton, or he cares about something completely different. Cool. Like, I think that's part of the experience. And so doing it with them, but then encouraging them to be a part of something that they can. Everything that is done solo can be done in groups. Like volleyball requires it is a team sport, but Minecraft, you can join servers, you can play with friends. One of the things that really helped him was doing Minecraft and Valorant, and being on, like, he went from being really shy and introverted to then doing voice comms, where you're on a call with the people who are on your team, and building friendships and learning how to communicate and learning how to talk to people through the thing that he cares about, instead of forcing him into band class or something that he doesn't
actually
like.
Minecraft and Fortnite and all that, because you could talk on there with them. It was great for my like English language learners, because they would have to speak in English, because most of them that are there on there and want to play with speak English. So they had to, it was great. I was like, where are you practicing? They're like, Minecraft, Fortnite. I'm like, oh, good for you. Like, it was great.
Well, because it's the thing they care about. Like Tim Ferriss, who wrote The 4-Hour Workweek, had a great example. We were talking about when he's trying to learn a new language. He really loves martial arts and wrestling and physical contact kind of sports. And so he'll join those groups and pick up those books around that style. So if he's trying to learn Chinese, he'll learn whatever the martial art is in China and try to pick that up. And it'll force him to learn the language because he cares about the thing, as opposed to picking up just a textbook on the words. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. Like, you're trying to learn English and you care about Minecraft. It's actually fun. And you want to learn how do you say, chop down that tree in English. Now you're actually curious about it, and you research it and you learn it, so you can apply it into your life. And that's where I think we get a lot of things wrong, is we tend to judge the actions. If you look at parents, and it's out of love for the most part, right? It's just they want you to succeed, but a lot of it, I think, in a 2022 environment is misguided because the opportunities available to somebody who's, even me, I'm 42. The opportunities available to me at 42 compared to my parents at 42, it's just a completely different world. Like, you can make more money playing Minecraft now and making videos and winning tournaments than you can being a lawyer.
So true on that one. Last question. Okay. And so I really want you to know, if you had to paint a picture in your mind, what does the ideal school or education look like?
I've struggled with this one. I don't have an answer. I haven't spent a huge amount of time like really think tanking it. So I would almost flip the question. Like, I'm curious what you think, and maybe you can add that at the end. I think mentorship definitely plays a bigger role. I don't know how to scale it. I don't know if it requires having more people coming in, more parent volunteers, more, I think less just here's what you have to learn. Like, most of the stuff we learn is forgotten. Most of the stuff that you pick up is really just memorization to pass the test. And so it's not really training us to learn things that matter. And I think I struggle with this with my son and my nieces and nephews, where it's like, this is useless.
Right.
Like, I'm never going to use this, right? Why am I studying this?
Yeah.
Like, you're right. I got nothing. It is useless. I don't use any of this. And the chance of you actually applying this is pretty much zero, but it's good building the discipline and the structure.
Absolutely.
So go do it. But it's not as strong a message. But yeah, definitely trying to figure out ways to teach kids how to learn. I think it's the most important than teaching them what to learn. Like, how to learn versus what to learn is huge. People can learn. Bill Gates had this great quote, which I've been playing with. And I'm going to kind of mess it up word for word, but the idea was you can learn a lot more when you're in community than trying to do it on your own. So even if college or university or the school system is not structured very well, the fact that you're doing it together really increases your ability to follow through, really drives up your likelihood of following through, which, if I look at movement makers, it's what I'm trying to do, is that there's no set curriculum.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you guys want to talk about? What do you want me to talk about? Like, what's the theme for this session? Because I want to make content and have discussions on what you guys care about the most. And it's never a photocopy of what was 2 weeks ago or a month ago or 2 months ago. It's always like the latest of what I'm working on. But then the collaboration and connection between you guys as well, I think is important. I don't know that we even need, like, just thinking out loud now, brainstorming while you're here, like the fact that we even put people in groups based only on age is probably ridiculous.
Absolutely, because you have different levels, right? You kids are at different levels. They could be at one level in math or a different level at something else. And so, okay, you're in 11th grade or 10th grade simply because you're, this age, like it's almost absurd. So, yeah.
And different interests. Like, people care about, honestly, I think if you look at the club system, I know different schools that have different clubs. If you look at life skills and actual value, kids probably, I'm going out on a limb on this one, but I would guess that kids get more value out of the clubs than they do out of the actual classes. So if I go to a chess club and everybody there cares a lot about chess, and it's all sorts of ages because it's the entire school, but it's only the 80 people who care about chess. And I'm learning and I'm making connections and friendships and strategies, and I'm competing, but also playing with some of the people who are at similar levels to me, even if they're at different age groups. I think that's probably the highest value. And how do you replicate that out? And how do you create curriculum? It's not even curriculum. How do you create? I don't know what alternative schools are doing, but how do you have mentors come in who actually are living their life? Like, most guidance counselors don't like their own life. And so they're now giving guidance to other kids on how they should live their life. So I do a lot more community. Yeah. I do a lot more involvement. I do a lot more asking people to come in and speak. I do a lot more customization. I do a lot more mixing of interests and age groups, a lot more action as opposed to studying. Like, let's go out and build something, make something. Even in my fourth year university course on entrepreneurship, it was just about writing the business plan, and I was already running my business at the time. Like, go and create a company, go do something, go instead of just studying in a textbook, right? But all of that requires a completely different way of thinking about education. But I don't know how you do that at scale without it costing 1,000 times more. I'm sure there are ways.
I'm figuring out the scale part.
That's why we need people like you to
everything else that you said, like for my online school that I have, like that's exactly what it is. Like, you know, kids are mixed in with each other, because why does it have to be just one level, grade level, or another level? You know, if I'm having all the kids, you know, read Built to Serve, then why do they have to be in a different classroom to read Built to Serve and to, you know, then have that discussion around it and work together to do a project around it, right? And so when you think about it, it's about, you know, taking those, doing a podcast about, like, you know, or having, like, one of my students, she had to interview the guy that shot Archduke Francis Ferdinand, and she loves to do animation. So she was able to do an animation cartoon of her, because she doesn't like to be on, her herself doesn't like to be on camera, an animation of her introducing him, but she had to research the theory and why he did it and all that stuff. So her questions had to be based on that, and his answers had to be based on it. But she was able to do it in the form of a cartoon, which was pretty cool. That was high school. She was in 10th grade. Let's see. Yeah, she was in 10th grade when she did that. So pretty cool.
I think that's a killer age. I think that's a great, I think, you know, to add on to that, then I think you need strong ties into the community to then give people internship programs around the things that they care about. Because if you take this girl and she cares about animation, and then she goes and does, like, we're going to say, here's what I would love to say is, like, hey, ignore French, ignore music class, ignore calculus, ignore history, unless it's like she loves history and Archduke Ferdinand. Like, ignore all the stuff that you don't care about, but you still have to, this is basically what my parents did for me. It's like, ignore all the stuff you don't care about, but you have to spend time on something that you do care about. And it's that push to go and study and learn and be great at the thing that you do care about. And so if it's animation for her, then she's going to graduate high school being kick-ass at animation and, like, zero at everything else. Which, how do we set her up to then have success in life? Which would be, let's get her some kind of opportunity either to start her own business in animation or intern at an animation company, who, when they hire her, will not care about her French mark or her trumpet mark, or, like, all they care about is, can she do the job? And so if you're going to go that extreme in the curriculum, or, like, lack of curriculum, customized curriculum, then what's the next tie-in, so that they're not left, we're giving them the next step so that they don't feel screwed. That was a fun 4 years, but now I can't even get into the university of my choice because I didn't even.
Well, the idea is to get them while they're in high school that internship. And so that then, especially with the low income people, so that they don't have to, everybody can go to college or university or afford it. So then they can get jobs right out of high school because they have a specialization in a certain area.
Yeah, honestly, it might even make sense to go category by category. You know, it's like, if you look at how did Facebook blow up? Well, they were only for university campuses at the beginning. And it's how a lot of companies blow up, is they start with one thing and then they get great at that, and then they expand. So how do you build the animation school, or the, you know, acting school, or the entrepreneur school, or the writing school, or the something, and you focus on getting great at that and in helping people build projects around those interests, and then getting them opportunities so that they're making money and they're set up for their career. And then add another layer and another layer, as opposed to, like, trying to do everything all at once.
Yeah.
It's probably how I'd approach it.
That's great. Well,
Yeah, like I would do entrepreneurship for sure. You know, that's just what's an entrepreneurship school look like? Well, we're going to start businesses together, and then I would have a board of advisors for the school, and the job for there is to try to get the kids who are making products deals. You know, and go get them so that they can actually build their business when they graduate.
I'm so excited that you said that
money.
because you're part of my mastermind, the entrepreneur mastermind that I started for this coming school year. You're one of the weeks, and I use your stuff all the time. I could make curriculum out of your stuff forever because that's just so much for these young kids to do. So I'm working on it little by little. Secondary students, so you're going to be known very well in Uganda as well this coming year. We have 50 kids in Uganda that we're sponsoring, so it's exciting.
I love it. It's a huge problem. It's not one that I've spent a crazy amount of time thinking on because I'm focused more on kind of the entrepreneurs out there. But I love it. I love being a part of it. I love that you're taking it on. It's one of the top 10 problems in the world, and if you fix that, you're going to fix a lot of other things along.
Well, we went way over, and I'm very excited that we did. So I'm just super grateful to you and very blessed to have you in my life. Thank you, Evan.
Yeah. Christy Raju in the house. Appreciate you, Christy. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you soon.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.